will not change by changing you. Word is changing how I change myself. Maybe she will change herself. Correct. Maybe other person. One person will change. No, the word will be changed.
The moment every generation believes that my son is Gen Alpha, my daughter is Gen Z actually, and I was talking to them and I was saying that it's very cool to say bro, cool, skibbity, etc., etc. I hear a lot of that.
So my question is to all of you: if you don't have 10 minutes for you, I think you or me also should die. Instead of giving them a beautiful life, money cannot buy you everything.
No, it cannot.
My question, okay, I have this also within my head. People say money is everything. I also say money is everything. Then you better do one thing: kill all your family members and take money. I'll give you all. Will you be accepting it? Please, if yes, reply me. Because if money is everything, why we are running behind our parents, running behind our mother, spouse, correct, kids? Why we are earning that?
Correct. So true. No, money might be and is probably a very important thing for people to run, but that doesn't replace relationships or...
Money is a huge
means
level of, what I'm just not calculating the word on what I should say on this. Money is the priority thing which we need. Means air se bhi pehle we need money only. Because air we also buying by the, way of ACs and all. We need, first thing, money we should be having. But when it comes to the emotion, it comes to the person, or it comes to the life of something or somebody, whether it's a dog. I don't think so. This money is as important as these three things.
It isn't. It isn't, because you're not going to take it anywhere with you. Materialistic things are not something.
I don't know. Yeah.
You're meant. That's why they say we're human and we have a life, and we have a life for a reason and we have a purpose. And that purpose is what you're here to fulfill. Of course, money is required in terms of a means to an end. See, but it cannot be the end, It cannot be.
Everybody's doing the same thing in their lives.
Right.
Like you are earning, I am earning, she is earning, everybody's earning, right? And they are feeding their families. That's perfectly all right. But is this the purpose to live? No.
Not at all, yeah.
Because everybody is having their different purposes in the life to come.
Correct.
Okay. Some is having maybe, just now we have one more friend of us that she is very much connected with animals we were talking about.
Right.
So maybe her purpose was that.
Yeah.
Means to heal animals. Maybe your purpose is to heal kids,
right,
or the children,
right,
or to give the proper guidance to the parents so that
right,
they can handle.
True.
But I don't know. I am really speechless today after hearing this statement that kids are not even getting 10 minutes of their parents where they at least can have a conversation. Now, what do you expect from this kind of kid? You tell me. I cannot expect anything from this kid. Because the kid is already broken.
The kid is, but there's nothing in this world. I mean, that's why I said, no, we are here for a purpose, right? We are not here to leave a broken thing where it is. We are here to go and try to mend it. And that's how I am. I mean, I am that eternal optimist, like I said in the beginning. And so is my co-founder, Sarah. And we will work with the child, and we will work with the parent, and we will give them a reality check a lot of times face to face. So there's time, right? There is one way of looking at it. Achha, ye ho raha hai, this is not right, or it's not right, or ye aisa kyun nahi kar rahe hain? Another way of looking at it, hum usme kya kar sakte hain? Can we contribute and be a catalyst to improve that situation? Then let's go and try at least.
Means I think, are we so idiots that we don't understand this? Somebody else have to teach us this?
No, and that's the sad truth,
means
right?
This is the truth,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. We are idiots. Because the thing which we are producing with so much of happiness, we are doing so many functions when we are carrying a baby, and when we are seeing the baby, the Namkaran function, or maybe, the name function, or maybe so many functions are there, and we go every week to do checkups. And for what? For what we are doing all of this when we are not even able to give them 10 minutes in a day? And then on the other side, we are saying they are not doing this. They are not. Why they are? What you are doing for them? This is my question.
Right.
So I think today's session, actually I have started for the kids, but I think it will turn on to the parents because I have so many things to talk about, and the parents are actually the core. If the core is not strong, obviously the leaves will fall down.
Yeah.
So in this condition, What is your suggestion to the parents? You please see in the camera and say that.
My suggestion to all parents, as all individuals, is please open your lines of communication with your children. Your children need you. I know you love your children, and I'd like to believe that, because the day you conceived the child, you started loving the child. Like she just said, you did so many of these functions, etc. But I want you to step up and step down from that pedestal and go and do something for those most important creations of your life. Go and communicate to them. Open your doors and you talk about yourself. Talk about when you faltered. Talk about the mistakes you made. Talk about how you rectified. Don't glorify yourself. You will see your children sharing stuff with you. You will see those hard, melted eyes, hard, strong eyes melting down into water. And you will see that beautiful child you gave birth to right in the beginning, right there asking you for help and probably crying out to you for help. Go ahead, take 2 steps forward and be there for that child. And that's what I would say to all parents.
Till the time we will not say something, they will not open up.
Right. So it's up to us to say something. So let's say it and do it.
We have learned this lesson now when we were kids. If you want to share something, first you have to start the conversation.
Right.
Because till the time you will not ask the question, you will not get the answer.
Absolutely. And
So
that's
instead, somebody else is asking the questions. Better first we should ask the question from ourselves, that what we did wrong to a kid, why my kid is like that. Now we are calling these Gen Z kids. So what is your perception about these Gen Z kids, from where they are producing now so much?
it's just another generation. We're probably on Gen Zs and Gen Alpha, and I don't know, maybe another one would come soon. But the point is, I've gone through all these children and I'm working with all these children, and they are just as a little child as you and I. If I have to peel the layers of you yourself, I'm sure there's this little child still there, right?
I am always a kid.
Absolutely. And there's one within me. And the most serious people to the most funny people all have that little child, that inner child. So they're just like that. It's just few layers of the words and the cool words and trying to be cool and all of that. But if you strip that down, they're just the same.
Okay, because I also have kids in the house. My
Right.
daughter is around 14 years of age. What I am thinking is, what I have seen till now. My son is 10 years, so he is alpha completely. So he's actually different. What I understood about my daughter, it is like, first of all, the root is only the one, the communication gap. Then we are not giving them the ample amount of time what actually she wanted, because
Right.
after 4 years she came, I got the other kid. So maybe I had neglected her. And then after that, when I myself or maybe my husband has given her the mobile phone for the first time, and she has seen that picture in her brain that they are doing these kind of stuff in the mobile phone, and people are, and me also, watching them. So they are trying to copy those words and trying to make that, that wow statement for us, so that we can start feeling that she's something different, and we'll start talking to them. I think this is the concept what I think is in Gen Zs, because eventually I speak to her friends a lot. Lot of time they come home and we sit together. I get always a good remark that auntie is very cool. But yes, I am cool because I know what they want. But every parent will not understand why I am doing that. Maybe somebody will say that I am not good enough to handle my daughter, or I am bad for them because every time I can't beat her, I can't abuse her, I can't hit her, or I can't throw her out. Okay, I cannot be nonsense with her. Why? Because eventually she is a plant grown by me only.
Right.
So this is what I am thinking. What is your thought about it?
There are 2 things there that you just said, okay, about your child and about the generation. The generation is called a clubbed up generation because they behave in a particular way, right? That's how it's called. Think about us, and I'll tell you about me as a kid. Each of us have peers around, and you can ask anybody in the room,
Right.
right?
Point.
And normally, when you're with peers, sometimes you want to fit in, okay? Many times you want to fit in, and you try to do something. While I was growing up, maybe I wanted to do that too. And I am Gen X because after me is millennials. And every time I said I wanted to do something that somebody else wanted to do, My mom would never take that as an answer. She would be like, I need your reason why you want to do it. If you want to do something that somebody else, that's called a herd effect. And you are not sheep. And you're not following somebody. So I'm telling you from a child, I think I didn't realize it at that point. I thought, why is mom saying no? The point that stayed from then till now is I every time now try to do something different. Because I am not born to fit in. I am born to stand out. That's what I've believed. And the moment every generation believes that, my son is Gen Alpha, my daughter is Gen Z actually. And I was talking to them and I was saying that it's very cool to say bro, cool, skibbity, etc., etc. I hear a lot of that. I was like, how does that make you different? You become clones of each other.
Right.
I highlight that. And that's when they realize that they should be different. They might find it boring now, but they'll realize it. So they become a generation when they just follow similar things. So yes, one thing you need to put in your children is, or highlight to them, or slowly push in is how they're going to stand out. Number two, when you spoke about your child and not spending time, a lot of people do this. They think that spending time with two children is quality time together, especially when people have two children. Unfortunately, it isn't. Spending 10 hours with two children is equal to the effect of spending 10 minutes with one child. So parents have to also learn when they have two children to separate the two children and spend time individually with them. And then you will see the growth also. And you can say this to your friends of your children and stuff, and you will see how they flourish that way.
Yeah, because this is really, as we are having this open conversation, where people are not even able to discuss that much because, what people will say. So our kids have this statement in their head. If I will not do this, what that person will say. So first of all, we have to learn that is their problem.
Correct.
So your problem is your problem.
Yes.
Every time I say this to my kid, when my kids are asking what they will say, I say, no, their problem is their problem, your problem is your problem, and my problem is my problem.
Correct.
So you take care of yours, I will take care of mine.
Correct.
Let them take care of theirs.
Correct. And what will they say comes to the point of they don't have the right to judge you.
Right.
Why will they say?
Because see, first you have to stop judging people so that they will stop judging you.
Correct.
Word will not change by changing you. Word is changing how I change myself. Maybe she will change herself.
Correct.
Maybe other person. One person will change. No, the word will be changed. So this is what my actually thought of this. And other than that, I want to ask about the Gen Zs we were talking. So this is what I thought about, and you have given me the correct answer, obviously, which is related to what I said only. But what is little bit different that you can say now to the Gen Zs, where at least with this conversation, if they are seeing, they will have a bit change in their lives.
No, all I would say to every generation that I meet, I will say that the same thing I said right in the beginning, that you being your unique self, you have your unique qualities. And if you only try to be like that friend of yours and sound cool, trust me, you're going to just look like clones of each other. You will never stand out. And my favorite sentence to this generation is, why fit in when you are born to stand out? Think about it. You will get your answer.
That's lovely. That's very much nice way she had actually, presented in front of my Gen Z's people, right? So now I have a question. Let's talk about the business which you are in right now.
Right.
Okay. So you call this as a time management skills, right?
Okay. I call them as life skills.
Life skills. Okay. So these life skills. So can you explain it a bit point wise,
Sure.
from where it starts, and in between I might have questions. So
Right.
please reply to that as well. But let's start from the point one.
Okay. So life skills are basically divided into 3 parts: thinking skills, emotional skills, and social skills.
Okay.
Thinking skills are everything to do with your thinking. Basically, your decision making, problem solving, time management, like you said, financial literacy, money management, growth mindset, learning to accept the mistake, get ahead and move on, failures. All of this would be your thinking skills. Okay. Your emotional skills are self-awareness, self-worth, self-value, embracing those emotions of yours, anger management, stress management, anxiety management, all empathy, respect, all of these are emotional
I just want to
skills.
interrupt you in between. See, I have seen kids like they are different in schools, and at home they are completely different. Either they don't talk, either they shout a lot. What is this kind of behavior comes in which kind of category?
No, it's not this kind of behavior. It's point of acceptance. Like we just spoke about communication.
Right.
In schools, they are with their peers. They're assuming they're absolutely embraced and accepted and they can be themselves. I want parents to do the same thing. That's why I said communication. Walk into your child's room, spend 10 minutes. Keep those communication lines open so they know that they are in as much of a safe space at home as much they are in school. In fact, the home should be the first safe space.
Right.
Like we are creating in blah, blah, blah. So at blah, blah, blah also, they are like very chill themselves. They're talking. I want this to be throughout. Why should a person have different personalities? In fact, their most honest and real personality should be at home, right? So I want parents to create that space. So when you do that, then they won't be shut down. They won't be in their rooms. They will feel free to come, talk to you, etc. My child, my daughter, when she was 12 and a half, 13, I think, 12 and a half, I mean, I figured that there was a point where we weren't really gelling so well. And one fine day she said to me, can we do a reel together? And I said, well, yes, because till then my account was private. And I said, oh yeah, we actually did a reel. We live in Fort Johns. We actually did a reel on the road. Not obstructing traffic, definitely. But the point was, she felt she wanted to probably just test the waters to see if mama would be that cool to come and try it. And when I let that communication open, we opened our account. After that, I have tons of people saying that, hey, I watched this reel. Just 2 days ago, I have people saying that, why did you not do this latest reel with your daughter? So the point is, you're breaking the norm. You're opening the line of communication, whatever way. Maybe she doesn't want a hug. Maybe she wants me to tell her that I understand you and I get you when I'm doing that reel with her. So that is a kind of opening communication. So you will see this. So it's not a particular person, not to be put into a bracket. It's all of them. And it's like how much every person gives and takes. And though we say that relationships are not something on a weighing scale, they kind of are. They need a give and take, right? So yeah.
You know, what I'm thinking is now I have one thought. The thought is, kids, they actually don't want everything of yours.
No,
They just want little attention.
that's all.
You ask them what to cook for you special, but when you are not there to eat that special stuff with them, so how they will embrace that special dish
And
without anybody.
And I'll surprise you with something. You know, they are as basic as when you ask them to cook something special. You asked me what children in my class say, right? There is another love language called acts of service. It's called action of service, whatever act of service you do. There are children in my class who say that my mom, out of a busy schedule, prepared a dish for me.
They notice.
Imagine that she loves me and that's why she did that. It's that big a thing. Just you cooking a dish, taking what, 30 minutes of your day? And cooking is like showing your love to them.
No, it is not that. You know what? When we fight with anybody, recently my daughter is having an argument in the school, and there her friend said something about me. My God, the face, the reaction she took stand for me was commendable. I was just shocked. I just said, you never talk to me this much. I only come and talk to you. I never knew that you love me this much. No, Mama, if somebody will say something about you, I will not leave that person. And the way she told me that, I just have a glimpse of my father. Like what she said, yeah, it is like that. Actually, this happened, you know. And what they want, yeah, seriously, I am getting again and again emotional in this topic because the point is really very close to me because I also have kids, and my kids, like, it's not like I feel the all kids are same. So I get connected with everybody. So I think we should do something for this where parents can understand. I think this session should be for parents only. But yes, after this conversation, I hope there is some kind of point may have, you know, went inside your brain, and then maybe you will start learning to give importance to your kids because they only need your importance. They don't need chocolates. They don't need, you know, they don't want you to bribe them every now and then.
No, they don't.
But other than that, they need your time. Spend your time with your kids, because if you will die today, tomorrow, who will use your money, you will never know. Maybe it will go inside the drain. Maybe you are spoiling your kids with that. But what the beautiful moments you are spoiling today is actually
It's
finished.
precious.
Yeah, it's
Very
very much
precious.
precious. Yeah. So now again about the second point we were talking about, and then okay, after that you're coming on the third point.
I miss the third one. So the third kind of life skills are social skills. So social skills are like this: interpersonal skills, public speaking, leadership, collaboration, sustainability, everything to do with the society and social and relationships and others. So a lot of times parents say, right, this is not going on stage and speaking, she doesn't have the confidence. All this is included in social skills. So these are the three kind of skills we teach children. In fact, we facilitate through our experiential learning and bring out of them.
Basically, your sessions are helping kids to stand in this world with a lot of confidence and lot of respect.
Everything. They're based on, that's why I say they're based on three pillars. One is I matter, which means I can do anything I set my mind to. I just need to be focused and I can do it. Second is you matter, which means everybody in any part of the world matters and should be respected. Respect is a basic human quality, irrespective of where they come from.
Yeah.
And third one is nature matters. The earth is shouting out for help. We're talking about sustainability. But let's not wait for the government or the UN and everybody to do something. Let's see what we can do. Let's step forward. So it's the resultant factor is a high emotional intelligence, which I think is super important. And 80% of success in life, by the way, depends on our EQ and only 20% on our IQ. And that's why this needs focus.
But now I think it's changed
Right.
from E to I or I to E. It has converted that way, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now tell me one thing. Now, when the kids are, how you find out the kid is having a caliber in them to do something extraordinary, but they are, holding their own self by XYZ reasons. So how you find out these things?
So exactly like I said, when you go through these three skills, when you have these classes, right? So what happens is that's why I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we have a maximum of 10 students per class with 2 facilitators, so that every child gets attention in a span of 1.5 hours that a class goes on. Now, in the span of 1.5 hours, when the class is then divided into 5 segments, in every segment, when every child speaks, they narrate a lot of their personal experiences. So the answers come from them.
So you choose these kind of topics where they can talk about their own self.
Every single thing, even if you're doing winning and learning, even if you're doing sustainability, even if you're doing conservation, whatever you do, every segment at the end of it, we say, how do you relate this to your real life? Let us hear. Or what is your learning? So the answers, like I said, that's what I said. The answers are within them. We're just bringing it out.
Means they are, with this conversation, I got to know, like, they will not come up with something. You have to pick and take it out.
Absolutely. We'll ask every child, and they know every child has to answer. And if we also tell them that my answer is same, so maybe Sadhana answered before me and I want to say my answer same. We tell them that I don't want to hear my answer same. Even if it is same, you say it in your way. And every single time we have noticed that even if they have the same answer, they will have a different way of putting it on. And we are keeping on making notes on them.
Kids have this nature, no, if they are putting something in front of you, might be the way is changed.
Correct.
But the conversation is same.
Correct.
If suppose I ask any of the kid where this cup was, they might say on the table.
Yeah.
But the way of saying is different, but the cup was there. In like this way, you can understand they are lying, they are not lying.
Absolutely.
How to find out kids nowadays, like they are spending so much time on social media, which is actually required.
Yeah.
Because now the schools has made it so mandatory that every kid should have the iPad in the school.
Correct.
But what I have seen, my son is taking the iPad every day in the school. But when I ask him for how much period of time that you use this iPad in the school, so he says 10 minutes in the school. And maybe the homework they are sending all in the portals they have opened now. They are taking the syllabus from there and they study in the books. So my question is, when it is not that much required, why they can't use a screen where they can share their iPads? This teacher can share the iPad things and they can work on that. Why? Because kids, they are not using these iPads actually for studies now. Maybe this is the reason we bought them for studies. but they are not using for studies.
Correct.
They are using for, other activities like playing Roblox, playing some other game, or maybe, chatting with their friends. So what you can, suggest these kind of, like to parents only, how we can handle this kind, how we can control this kind of time? Because simply if you'll ask a kid to control their timings,
They can't.
they cannot.
But you can. There are parental controls. My children have parental controls on their devices and they are aware of it. So we are not having parental controls on them behind their back. We're informing them, this is how much time you need it for, and we are going to have this control on your device, and we are monitoring your device.
But what if the child is very stubborn, crying, throwing things here and there? After that, because I have people, I've seen kids
That's
like that.
why from the day one, I need parents to have communications with their children. Day one, communication irons out everything. Definitely they'll have tantrums. If you've given, like you said in the beginning, if you've given them a device and then after about 2 years of having the device, you're saying, now you can't have the device. Sorry. If, for example, you were at this podcast, I'll give you an example, and you were said that, come for this podcast, we booked the time. And the moment you came here, they would say that, sorry, you know what, it's blocked. Would you would you say okay?
Of course, I would.
Wouldn't you throw a
Yeah,
tantrum?
yeah,
You
right.
would. Your child
So
is
I
doing
think
exactly
the
the
better
same.
way to manage this kind of behavior of the kid, or maybe the timings which they want or which we should give it to them, there should be a timetable set to that.
And have a discussion. Always start with a discussion and a communication and then action it. And like I say to parents, don't say no, even if there's a 1% chance that you're going to then change and say yes. Because there are parents who say, no, you can't have it, and then they feel bad and they give it to the child. You're giving them mixed messages. If you say a no, stick to that no. Till then, if there are chances of you saying a yes, keep it to your yes and don't say a no. And if it's about schools, have a conversation with the schools. I've done that with my child's school. I've said that, does he need to have the iPad every day? And then she said, yeah, he needs it for so many days. Have communication open. Let them know you're having this communication. And then if it's not required on that day, don't send the device. So it's absolutely doable if you put in the process in place and inform your child as well.
As you are saying, the world is very busy right now,
Right.
in earning money.
Right.
Right. Do you really think we should make a timetable to sit with our kids, or, segregate the time in this way where we can at least,
Yeah.
because most people are saying that we have no time for
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
We are earning money. I can understand completely, because there are parents, there are businesses, there are corporations, like companies like that.
Correct.
Which actually is not giving time.
Correct.
But the point is, everybody's having 24 hours in the life.
Absolutely.
Right? 24 hours in a day.
Yes.
So if we'll segregate that time according to a timetable,
Yes.
so I think it might help them.
It would, and you could, and there's no set in stone timetable. That is a timetable that works for your family. And if your children see this, you're setting an example, by the way. If your children see this, that you have such a busy schedule and you're still able to remove those 10 minutes out for them, they will start understanding that they can do something like that. Like they can manage their time better.
I think I should make a timetable first in my house, because I am going to post that timetable online here in front of you all, that because it starts from me.
Right.
If I can change, you also can change.
Yeah.
So spare your time for your loved ones, because now they are with you. You never know where we will go tomorrow. So give and respect their timings and emotions, please. So now I want to ask you last question of the podcast.
Yeah.
One last suggestion you want to give to parents.
Absolutely. So,
Pehle do's.
Please treat your child as an individual. Treat your child as an individual who's got a brain, who's got a heart, who is going to express as much as you are. Please do not use words like, you are small to understand, you can't give your opinion. Do not. They have an opinion, and if you encourage them now, you will see them growing up and giving opinions. So please do that to your child. Treat your child as an individual like you would do to any other person. Do not, like I said, your child has emotions like you. Do not disrespect, do not humiliate, do not demean, and do not belittle your child. Yeah. One other do is definitely that quality time. 10 minutes, I know you're super busy, super busy, but 24 hours, and I'm telling you to take off just 10 minutes of that day, every single day with your child. Yeah. And do not then step into your child's room and keep asking them, what did you do? How was your day? Did you eat your tiffin? Etc., etc. Please walk in there and just talk about yourself, talk about the hard day that you had, ask them for advice, and you will see them slowly opening up and becoming more confident individuals. I think that's
This is
good
till the time you will not share your stuff to them, they will not understand that they have to share their own stuff.
Correct.
Now, one last message for our kids as well.
You guys are amazing, you guys are unique, and you guys are special. I want each of you to just believe in yourself because I believe in you, because blah, blah, blah believes in you, right? And I want you to voice that opinion because every voice deserves a space at the table, be it a soft voice or a loud voice. There is content there and it should bring out to the world. So keep just going out there and soaring higher and higher. God bless each one of you.
So after such a lovely message of yours to our kids, it's lovely message you have given it to them. I have a very special gift for you from Yellow Drapes, and this is a gift from Yellow Drapes for you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
As you have spent actually the time for our kids and for this beautiful conversation. So kids, we have a good discussion with you today. And after this discussion, I would like to tell all of you, if you need any kind of help, you can contact directly to blah, blah, blah. We'll send the details in the description box. And yes, if any kid is having any kind of trouble where they are not able to express, I will be sending my number in the description box. You can reach out to me. I can guide you. I can guide your parents, and I can get help from blah, blah, blah. So keep watching, keep shining, and keep loving each other. Love you all. This is Sadhna, and this is the Attitude of Gratitude.